This is Mitch, host for A Journey for a Better Tomorrow.
This is Angela co-host and the co-host for Journey for a Better Tomorrow.
A Journey for a Better Tomorrow is more than a podcast. It's a movement where Angie and I are going to be guiding listeners through real conversation. We're going to have personal reflection and inspiring stories from everyday people and trailblazers alike, whether we're unpacking challenges, celebrating victories, or exploring fresh perspectives. Every episode is a step toward building a future that's brighter, kinder, and more intentional. We want you to tune in, grow, journey forward with us on our quest for a better tomorrow.
Today we'll be embarking on the healthcare journey of our host and how he had to adapt and overcome challenges he's faced with his physical and mental health. So Mitch, you want to start us on that journey?
Thank you, Angie. And I do want to talk about my healthcare journey because it's something very personal to me. I've grown to a point in it now that I feel comfortable enough to be able to share with others, and maybe they might be able to gain some insights into my experience. Certainly, it was tough when I first heard the news, a diagnosis of cancer, and that was about 2019, I believe it was. And when I first heard that news, Angie, you was right there with me. And I just I don't know if I felt numb or what have you. I just kind of felt ambivalent. When you heard that news right there with me, what was your thought?
My initial thoughts was, okay, it's prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is something that's easily treatable if caught in enough time. So I really didn't have any worries or any concerns about it because it was at that time a low grade cancer at the time, and it was treatable.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that because when I first got the diagnosis, I think it just kind of went through my mind this way. There were 12 sites that was tested. Out of those 12 sites, I think 7 of them may have been cancerous or positive, and the other 5 wasn't. And so in my eyes, man, it was like, yo, I'm good. I mean, I got I got 5 that ain't bad. This other situation, I could just go ahead and work through it. So I'm not really worried about it, and I'm not really focused on doing anything about this. And so I did adopt a stance from the onset that I wasn't really gonna worry about it. I was gonna put it in God's hands and let Him do something about it. And I don't know how you felt about that.
Well, he did because he showed you signs and symptoms that if it was not treated, that it can continue to get worse. And like I told you then, just don't let it go to the point to where it will not or cannot be treated, and which you have known.
Right.
You did go to a point and then decided to get treatment.
Yeah, and I think some of the things initially that was affecting me about even thinking about getting treatment was that I had a niece to pass away from a cancer, maybe shortly about a year before or less. And it was a fast progression of cancer for her. And my mind's eye was, look, I ain't gonna let nobody give me anything that's gonna break my system down and then gonna cause me to be compromised where I can't recover from it or die. If I'm good, I'm good. And I just kind of had that mindset, starting knowing that I really wasn't wanting to do anything uh, to deal with this. And be honest with you, I don't even know. I don't even recall the urologist even stating anything about a Gleason score, stage, or anything like that. All I heard him say that was you had cancer and that you have options, and these options could be surgery, these options could be radiation, having, of course, the prostate removed, things like that, and um, chemo, radiation, those things. Certain things I wasn't wanting to hear at that time. And so I opted to, I guess, in a way, kind of push it off and not really start or think about doing anything about it.
That's normally a typical male answer. And being a female in healthcare, one thing I do know, men tend not to go to the doctor as much as females. Females tend to go every year and get their GYN out of the way, and that's a yearly thing. We go through the same processes that you guys would go through, just in a different manner. But a male, I don't care how old or how young, they refuse to go and get that prostate test, which is one of the main reasons why you have a lot of men diagnosed with prostate cancer at a late age. And at some point, when they're diagnosed, they're already at a stage 4 because they refuse to get anything done or get it checked. Because for whatever reason, a man is, I guess they feel that they're, I don't know how to say it in a proper way, but losing their manhood by someone sticking anything up their rectum to check. A rectal exam is what's needed for PSA.
Yeah. And I agree with you, in hearing you state some of those things because, one of the things after the fact I went through and cited and wrote and understood was that research showed that Black men in general are 70% more likely to develop prostate cancer compared to other racial groups and twice as likely to die from it. And of course, that research comes and was cited on blackdoctors.org. But the key to it is less access to screening and timely treatment, like you stated. And that's one of the things that happened to us. And fortunately, in my instance, I had access to screening. I had the choice of timely treatment. I chose to not act on it fastly in that way, at that point, and I had other things going on in my world. Trying to finish up getting credentialed for, my mental health license for licensure and was trying to get the little practice off the ground, had all these other things going on, and I was making a decision that I felt, "Okay, I'm good, regardless of whatever goes on with me in this way, whether I'm healed in this way or not, I've lived a very good life. I was proud of what I had done so far in this life. I was proud of the things that happened to me. I had a chance to live, love, learn all those things on this side. And so I was good either way. And so it really wasn't something that bothered me. And I know that you may have taken that at some point as a selfish stance.
And that was very selfish stance, and I made that known to you.
Yeah. And I felt that. Yeah.
You were
I
supposed to.
clearly felt that. But and I went through a process where I was being monitored. I went on active surveillance is really what I went on. And active surveillance was basically just being able to have it monitored. So I was getting it monitored. I was also, thankful that you were able to, by being in the healthcare facility, just be able to healthcare position, just to be able to monitor me and let me know that these numbers don't look good or what have you. And if these numbers don't look good, that would have triggered me to do something more. And so I'm also eternally grateful that you gave me the space to make my own decision and the opportunity for me to be settled with my decision. And so that did help me be able to go through this process. Um, One of the things that I'd like to point out is that, the treatment that I could have got, I was diagnosed in 2019. I ultimately got treatment in 2024. And when I got treatment in 2024, it was the same treatment that I could have got from day one. And so, by the grace of God, my situation hadn't progressed any. And of course, it was a slow grow. And I was later found out that I was a Gleason score 6, which is a low grade cancer, and that's low grade cancer was slowing. But I I didn't know that initially. That wasn't something I was operating on, that level of understanding. And so, I was operating out of a space of faith and ignorance in a sense. And, but I acted on those things, or acted that way during that time, and I was able to get through it. They say, God, watch out for the fools and babies or something like
Yeah,
that.
you're not a baby anymore.
And so I don't know if I'm the other thing either, Angie, but but I did make it through that, and ultimately decided to go ahead and get the treatment called targeted radiation therapy. And with that targeted radiation therapy, they was able to pinpoint um, through MRI and everything, able to pinpoint the cancerous area that was still in my prostate. And with that being said, they were able to actually go in and with that targeted radiation hit that site. And I think I'm not sure what it was, about a month and some change of everyday
28
radios,
days.
28 days of radiation.
Radiation Monday through Friday.
Yeah. And so that was, it was what it was. Angie was there to help me go through a lot of that. Many days I had to drive out there, drive back in, go to work, do what I normally do. But it was an experience, and we made it through that experience. I was able to ring that bell. And now I'm about what, a year and a half out, and my PSA levels are basically non-existent there, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm starting to gain a lot of things back that I had lost. One of the biggest things in regards to this, I think that affects, I think, men and may make them not want to get certain treatments is as it relates to their sexual functions and maybe sexual dysfunction in certain ways. And so it is sort of like a taking away of your manhood in a essence. And
That it's not taken away for good.
right,
That's the thing. A man actually strive on their manhood. That's priority for them instead of getting the treatment to get better. Yes, and then of course a lot of doctors will not tell them, let them know that yes, there's going to be residual effects from it. And a lot of times they will tell them, but then on the other hand, they choose not to hear it. It's like blocked out instead of actually saying, okay, well, the doctor said this could happen. But instead, they'll take that, and once these residual effects start happening, then they'll go run and scream to the doctor. Oh, well, this is happening. Why is this going on? Instead of, if you have that one good doctor that's going to tell you everything, all you have to do is jot notes down and it will be there. But yes, there are residual effects. And yes, I've seen residual effects after your treatment. You've seen them. I'm sure most of the kids have seen them. Even after you had treatments during those days that you've been having them, of course, you slept more. Because, of course, radiation is going to tire you out. It's not as bad as chemo. The effects of chemo on the body is a little bit different than the effects of radiation. But for the amount of radiation you have, you still, of course, was able to go straight to work, still was able to do your everyday thing. But then, of course, over time, I've seen little residual effects of you coming home and falling asleep. It's like a daily thing. First thing you do, you come in, you sit down, and you fall asleep.
right,
And that's one of the residual signs, as well as other things that goes on, prostatitis, um, frequent urination. These are things that are normal after radiation treatment or treatment for cancer of the prostate.
yeah. And that was one of the big things for me when I experienced, and actually even at the beginning of this year, I think radiation prostatitis, and that kind of was unnerving because it had issues being able to urinate and excremate and things along those lines. I was like, "Yo, dude, this ain't good. This ain't it." And but this too shall pass. I was able to get through that process as well, and pretty much on the other side of it. One of the things that I would encourage others to do that may be listening to this podcast is to take it serious in this way, and specifically Black men. we're 70% more likely to develop prostate cancer than the other racial groups, and we're twice as likely to die from it. Go ahead and take this situation serious. Get that screening done, get your PSAs done, that digital rectal exam, biopsies if necessary. Do these things to make sure that you are able to stay on this side so that you can continue on your journey for a better tomorrow, so that you continue on your way to being able to be the best version of you. I will offer this. There are, according to Black Doctors Org, um, the there are several preventive measures that they encourage people to do and look at, and that's to reduce your exposure to carcinogenics, and that will be pesticides, herbicides, those type of things. Maintain a healthy weight, exercise regularly. They say 10,000 steps a day increase blood flow and reduce inflammation. Follow a pretty good health diet and control your calorie intake. And so those are some preventive things that you can do. Angie, I just thank you for your support with me on my health journey there and the things that I went through, and for allowing me the space to be able to go through what I needed to go through to get to the point of wanting to deal with this and getting this into the point where it's getting behind us. And so I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank you for that.
And I am thankful that at the time that you went through what you went through, I was still at work. And yes, I had a hell of a work team because they made sure they knew where I was at. They supported me when it came time to taking off to be with you to go through this journey. They are actually a great group of people. Kathy Z, Lorraine, Betty Lou, Pat, um, what's, uh, Kevin, Mr. Walker. Those are people that was in my network that I can count on. If I had questions about prostate cancer, some of the effects, I go to somebody that's already had it and talk with them, and they gave me a lot of insight on what they had to deal with. And also, like I said, my supervisors, they were great. My coworkers, they did a hell of a job in helping me out. And I just thank them to be able to be there for you. It could have been the other way around. I could have had assholes, excuse me, for coworkers. I could have had people who weren't as, open to help. But they were a good group of people. I had a lot of people that was praying not only for you, but for me also, for my mental health. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that you were able to reach out and say, hey, I want to go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
And of course, with the kids always was there asking. If they didn't ask you, they always ask me, so mom, how is Pops really doing? And I sit there and tell them, he's doing good. So if they couldn't come to you, they came to me.
Yeah, and then that's one thing that I wanted to acknowledge as well. I appreciate our kids and definitely appreciate them. It was a hard thing. I think that was first tears I shedded in this process when I had to share with them. I don't know if it was like a Thanksgiving or something like
It was
that.
Thanksgiving.
And I shared with them about the diagnosis, and that was hard, gut wrenching for me to do. But I thank them for their support, their encouragement, their words, and everything they did along the way on that journey as well. And though that journey may not be over, man, we're in a damn good space right now. And I love them. And I just want to thank everybody, that's team out at South Carolina Oncology. They did a great job as well. And so we really appreciate everything that's been done on my behalf on this healthcare journey. And I really wanted to be able to share with you guys some aspect of my journey and my quest for a kind of brighter tomorrow, that I may be able to be a better version of myself. And so thank y'all for chiming in on that. And I really want to be able to, again, just thank all our listeners and tune in, because we're going to have some great episodes from people that's going to be able to give you good insights about their journey, their space and place, and how they got there. And Angie will go into.
One thing I wanted to say is family. Family is everything. Family is key. My family has been a big help. They have been a big blessing. His family has been a tremendous help as well. It's just family. If you didn't have anything else, you can always count on family. And that's the one thing I am so thankful for with my family. Anytime I say, hey, this is happening or I need, they are there. And I am thankful that they have always been there checking on you, checking on us, seeing if anything is needed. And I'm thankful for that because once you have a close knit family like that, there is no way you cannot feel nothing but love and respect and appreciation for them. So I thank and love each and every one of them.
Yeah. Great, great. I'm glad you added that in there. Definitely don't want to miss everybody that was there on that journey and just continues to be there for us. And family is key. Um, we do have, as we close out this segment of this podcast, we do have another thing that we'll be doing on a weekly basis. And we do have on the site a way for you to be able to chime out or reach out to us. But there's going to be an Ask Mitch and Angie segment on it. And that Ask Mitch and Angie, we may be able to provide certain insights. We may be able to provide some specific information. Certainly, as a licensed counselor, stuff that I say will not create a counseling relationship. And so, if anything in it, I would always ask you to reach out to either your counselor or seek professional help in that instance that we don't have a counseling relationship already established. And I know many of the things that Angie will say or share with you from her perspective will be not only from that, but from research and other things along those lines. And I'll let her say whatever disclaimer she need to say on her behalf. But on my behalf, as a licensed professional counselor, I would always say in that segment that the comments and things that I make is not geared towards creating a counseling relationship. Um,
Um, my only disclaimer is that just understand that we are human. We don't know everything. We don't claim to know everything. We're just here to talk, give you an open outlet. If you want to get something off your chest, if you want feedback on a certain situation, then we're here. We're not here to give you any definite answers to anything because that's not what we're here for. We're just here to open lines of communication. That way you can get talking about a subject, enjoying life, talking about it. And sometimes just talking about it can help heal things. It can help you relieve stress about whatever it may be. As long as you talk about it, get it out.
I love hearing that, Angie. That's creating that space, creating that space.
The only other thing I wanted to say is men, go and get your colon checked. Don't wait until you're 90 years old to go get a colonoscopy. Get your colons checked because just like prostate cancer is prevalent in Black African American males, so is colon cancer. Go and get your colonoscopy.
Thank you, Angie, for that. On our segment tonight for the Ask Mitch and Angie, I'm going to kind of do a little personal, make it personal for us. And I'm going to make this statement here, and it goes and it deals with kids and children. And we've been blessed with 4 kids from ages, 36, 37 on down, 25 this year. And a lot of little grandbabies, a lot of little raggedy grandbabies running around. And so we're blessed to have them. And always things that come up is how much are you willing to do or what are you willing to do for your kids to make sure that they're good, things are good, and they got to step up in life. And in this society, in this day and age, with things being the way they are, with finances being the way it is, with it being difficult out there, is there any point that you think the behaviors or things you do for your kids may be considered enabling? And so I'll let you chime in on that as well, Angie. Just example, kids in your space, kids in your home, launching, relaunching, launching, relaunching, whatever the case may be, providing things for them. When is it too much? When is it not? You know, what kind of feedback would you say on that?
Well, for me and my mindset with my kids, as long as I have somewhere to stay, my kids have somewhere to stay. That's always going to be priority. My kids will always be priority. My kids and my grand. If you don't have somewhere to stay, say for instance, you stay with someone, y'all break up, y'all separate, whatever, go your own separate ways. I'm not gonna say, hey, no, you can't come back because one, that's not who I am. Yes, you will always have somewhere to stay. They will always have a place to lay their heads. They will always have food to eat. They will always have food to eat unless you don't sit there and clean my damn kitchen. Then all of a sudden, I stop cooking. I'll automatically get amnesia. I don't know how to cook. I don't even try to. That's my biggest thing. That's my pet peeve. Clean my kitchen. If I'm cooking, then somebody should be cleaning. But as far as how far will I go to take care to make sure my kids have, I will go to the end of the world until I see you not doing what you should be doing. Your potential is supposed to be your potential. I shouldn't have to push you or prod you into doing what you need to do or what is necessary for you to do.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And one of the things when I think about that, because I'm looking at the next generation down, and so I'm looking to make sure that the things that I'm doing for my kids are benefiting for my grandkids. And so I'm always looking at that as part of my decision making and doing things. And so some of the things people may consider or they think might be enabling in a way, I consider just out of duty, just a sense of duty to do for mine. If I can do for other people, do for anybody else, I certainly could do for mine. So um, I think it is something that a lot of people struggle with and fight with in this day and age with the way the economy is and the way I characterize it the way as the younger generation is too. Some of the times that they might not, from my perspective, might not have the get up and go that I think that we may have had in the past, and so kind of bring some things out.
I don't know if it's not get up and go. I just think their drive is a little different from ours. Our drive back then was different. A lot of things that they have now, we didn't have back then. We didn't have, we had internet, of course, but we didn't have internet in the way that they have it now. We didn't have all the little devices that they have now. We didn't have the AI generated this, that, or the other. So I think it's not about they're good at get up and go because a lot of them, their get up and go is not gone. It's gone. It's just gone. Not even there. But their drive is different. Our drive was more that we had to get up, we had to go out, we had to find a job outside of the house. Nowadays, you have people working inside the home. They don't have to go outside to find a job. And they can find a job online and build and work back. So, like I said, it's not just that they're get up and gone. I mean, there's a difference
Right.
because the generations are different, and their generation, their children's generations will be different from their generation, and their drive is going to be different from their children's drive.
Excuse me. That's a very good point, Andy. Very good point. And I think you kind of got it from us that we're gonna do what we need to do for our kids and grandkids to make sure that they good. And and
I
and
need to
so,
get on your nerve.
but but all right, that ends our segment for a journey for a better tomorrow. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Remember to wherever you get your podcast from, we want you to reach out to us on those particular platforms. We want to thank y'all all for being a part of this journey with us today. And Angie, on this quest for a journey for a better tomorrow, I got you.
Yeah.